Black Ops 7. How did we get here?
Ugly.
How did COD end up being one of the biggest franchises in the world to now barely being a blip on people's map to the point where people don't even know that Call of Duty is out? Because back in my day, I remember November was all about Call of Duty. That was the only game that mattered during that time. It was either that or Halo or maybe Gears. I didn't hear much about Gears then, but Call of Duty was definitely a staple in most kids' households. And if you're in your early 30s, late 30s, somewhere around there, you know what I'm talking about. You know the vibes during that time. They were immaculate. No YouTube to go on and look at meta weapons, none of that. It's just you and your buddies after school just getting it in.
Well,
and not only
yeah.
that, what were you going to say?
No, go ahead. You want to roll, brother?
Not only that, we had at the time developers. I feel like we had developers who wanted to play their own game and they wanted to play something great themselves. And at the time also, we didn't have major corporations breathing down the developers' necks at the time. Like, gaming wasn't really seen as, a moneymaker right then. It was starting to get that way because COD was doing numbers, astronomical numbers. We were on the news, guys.
A popular new video game actually allows you to be a terrorist and kill people. Take a look.
The world has been your battlefield.
The controversial new video game is called Modern Warfare 2, and it is flying off the shelves. But is this fantasy game just a little too real? And is it appropriate?
I remember them reporting Modern Warfare 2 or 3's numbers, and it was just astronomical for a game. But it was obviously a part of the culture. We had developers who made games they wanted to play themselves. And these games were fantastic, straight out of the box. It's just everything was there. Every once in a while, we get like a DLC, for a map pack, but that was it. No battle pass, no nothing.
Yeah, but also the games were innovative back then, right? Because there was no second chances at things, right? Like you said, okay, so they spend, let's just say, because we're talking about Call of Duty, it's technically 4 years, right? Because there's two developers that are going at a time, right? There was innovation. There was no, hey, we're going to develop it for 4 years, then we put out a day one patch. There was no day one patch. There was none of that. That game better come out crisp, like a fresh Sprite.
Ready to
and if it didn't, it was millions at stake.
Right.
Where here, and just use that as an example because it's a little bit of a full cycle moment. No Man's Sky came out broken, bad, not great. Like, this is not a good thing. And they took years to develop it to get to where it's at now, where it's a playable, really good game. I've gotten hundreds of hours out of it.
Right.
But like, I think the deviation of where they went wrong was, it sounds bad, but Battlefield. They had a direct competitor, and even you want to go further back, you're talking about, we're a little bit older now, right? There was Medal of Honor. Like, there were competitors to the first person shooter type genre. And when that fell to the wayside and then Battlefield decided to do what they wanted to do in 2019, competition breeds innovation, and they didn't have that. So this is what we get now.
Right. And also, speaking of, competition, why do we have to continually do this cycle? Because the same thing happened back in the day where Battlefield 1, I believe, was going up against, I don't forget which Call of Duty it was. I'll have to look it up, and if I do find it, I put it on screen. But we were at the same point where COD was they were feeling like they were too big to like actually take a dip in like sales or anything. They felt like they were like Fortnite. Nothing will ever be as big as Fortnite, no matter how people try, hard they try. Maybe,
No, they have a
Counter-Strike,
stranglehold
yeah, but
on that.
right.
Well, Counter-Strike is also different, though. That's that touched a nerve at the right time, like Fortnite did, and good on them, man. That's a if you don't like microtransactions, don't get into Counter-Strike because that shit'll ruin your bank account.
But the thing is, I was going like, why do we have to get this cycle where a game comes out great, starts building a community, gets world renowned, just for its playability, all the things you can do in COD. Like, it has zombies, it has the multiplayer, it has the campaign. They'd even let you play campaign with your friends. Like, it has everything that you would want to do, with your friends, plus an all-encompassing package.
Mm-hmm.
But every time the company gets so popular, the executives, it can't be the developers doing it, the executives get to a point where we don't really need to change anything because the formula is working. We're making billions off of the game, plus the microtransactions and the battle passes. And, no matter how many times people complain about how many skins there are in the game, people are still buying this stuff. I know people get on, Reddit and, Twitter, and, sometimes when you get on those spaces, you feel like that's the overall tone of the community, but you forget how big the casual community is in comparison to these small spaces. Some people just don't care. They're coming on there, they're coming home off work, grabbing their boys. They just want to get on here and shoot something. They don't really care about the quality of the game. Yeah, the dads. And sometimes it's also the kids. They don't really care. They just want something fun to play with their friends. They don't really care about the quality of something at this point. They don't really care about the garbage that's constantly being served. They haven't developed that in their brain to care yet.
Right.
And they shouldn't, because they're children. That's it's just here to have fun. Be a child. But I hate the fact that we have to continue this circle where a company gets so big, they get popular, they get too big for their britches, as the old folks say. And then in order for them to be brought back down to reality, their competitor has to come out with something like so substantially greater. Yeah. They have no choice but to innovate. Which is actually what we're seeing now with Battlefield 6 and Black Ops 7. You absolutely did nothing to capture your audience with that trailer. I have never seen a trailer make me not want to play a game so bad.
Let's back up just a little bit. Okay. And all of this. Knowing that Battlefield came out from an executive standpoint, right? Like, we're not even talking about consumer side. Let's not be naive in the fact that they know what other companies are doing. Right? It just is what it is. They all know what they're all kind of up and doing. The fact that they at some point knew what Battlefield was doing, where they're doing Battlefield Labs and they're doing zeta testing all the way up to alpha testing, seeing the leak footage. Your CEO came out and did the Diablo thing. Y'all came out and like literally put it all on the table and said, we are too big to fail. You said that at the most inopportune time.
Right.
Like, you didn't let the competitor come out. Like, let Battlefield come out and fall flat on its face like 2042. And if you want to say that, I am full on behind you, dude. Because, yeah, it is. At this point, like, your biggest competitor swung and missed. Right. But you said that in the ecosphere of what the community is looking for. And Battlefield, for all of its issues, because they have some, did exactly what they needed to do. They got back to their formula and demolished you.
It's
out the gate.
It's not even that. It's the formula is not really. If you think about it, it's not groundbreaking. They went back to what the community
to them.
They went back to what Battlefield was and what people loved about the game. They just did the basics of what is supposed. We didn't ask for anything.
I got a Battlefield game.
Yeah. And that's what we wanted.
What I didn't have Beavis and Butthead. I didn't have Diablo. I didn't have Stan. I didn't have Gary. I didn't have Tom, Dick, and Harry running around. I had a soldier in combat, throwing lead down range.
Right.
And you guys still saw that even after everything and said, we're still bringing you skins. That I never want to see a business fail because I know there are a lot of jobs at stake. But y'all are getting every bit of what y'all deserve. Every
bit. The worst part
100%.
is that the people who actually don't deserve that are the developers, and they have to be honest, I really don't know. Yeah, they have to eat it. And the people who should be punished are never the CEOs. And even if they do get, fired, these motherfuckers are making so much money that they can sit out of a job for years without leaving. They can take the time to look for something else. Somebody else will hire them just because of, their experience of being as a CEO. But you're talking about the developers who have families not making that much money. That's their livelihood. And you're basically playing with it. And then on top of that, a little bit off tangent, with Destiny coming out with the final shape and, still giving a banger DLC. And yet still getting fired. Like, what is the appeal of being a game developer at this point if you're still going to get dropped at the end of it because some stocks, the shareholders didn't meet their metrics. They didn't get their $2 that they were expecting.
I mean, from an investment standpoint, I can look at it and go, okay, I get it. Like, what are you going to do about the profit margin? Okay, cool. I understand. Great, cool, whatever. But the fact that the developers take the hit on that sucks.
Right.
That's such a volatile field, and there are some passion projects out there that some of the developers do care about what they do, and if you don't really see that, the developers don't want to put in some of these skins that are in this game,
right?
And for the community as a gamer community to realize that it took Battlefield to come out, and for the whole gaming community to go, yeah, that's what we want. Call of Duty literally said, fine, bet, we can turn all of that off with a switch.
Right.
So you could have done that the last 4 years? Okay.
Right.
That to me is just, you're not listening to your fan base, and honestly, I'm glad there is no fan base over there right now.
Right.
Because the whole community needs to put them on notice that this shit's not going to stand anymore.
Right, because that's $70. $70 is a lot of money for some people. Especially now, with rising prices everywhere. You are asking a lot for somebody to go into this game. This is like some people some people buy this game and can't play anything else. They don't have the money to put. And so now you have an audience that's more people are kind of being more iffy about where they put their money. Because me and you constantly talk about how we get more hours in indie and AA games now. Like, it's very rare that I will shell out $70 for a full AAA experience because most of the time I'm not getting a AAA experience. AAA, when you take millions of dollars, you would think that is probably the most polished that you could possibly get. Nope, that's just in name only. That AAA now only stands for how much money that we put into this project, not the amount of polish that you're going to get out of this. Not the quality that you're going to get out of it.
I think the only AAA game I've played here recently, because I'm actually looking through my catalog right now, because I was trying to see if that clip that I wanted to send you downloaded, is Ghost of Yotei.
Right.
I really only, because I'm looking at it, I think it's the only game where I put in 80 hours into a AAA game as of late.
Also, something else I don't know if you ever thought of this, but I think Warzone actually hurt them in the long run. Because now, the reason I say that is because now when you think of Call of Duty, people think of Warzone. They don't really think of the base multiplayer experience. I feel like Warzone. I feel like Warzone became the primary COD experience because during COVID, that's all that people were playing. Like all the streamers, that's what everybody was hyping up. That's what actually they wanted from Battlefield. They wanted a Warzone competitor. No Battlefield player wanted that. I don't think any Battlefield player wanted a a battle royale. We just wanted the standard Battlefield experience we're used to. But that's what the COD players wanted. And I really think that in the end, they were riding so high on Warzone that they kind of neglected everything else. Now, people still like zombies here and there, but I really, because I remember people complaining how Warzone started doing so well that they started to neglect the base game. It's the same thing that happened with Rockstar GTA Online.
Well, here's also the problem. Well, that's a different monster onto itself.
Yeah.
COD's a big game. GTA Online is a juggernaut onto its whole other stratosphere. Like that I get why they did that. But to Call of Duty standpoint, I think you're right. They did neglect other parts of the game, but the problem is they didn't, when they tried to revamp Warzone, they didn't revamp it at all. They just said, cool, you like I forget the name now, Verdansk. They just brought it back. There was nothing different to it. And I think I told you, because I jumped on there and I started playing again, you jumped in and you literally, I think within the first 90 seconds said, so it's the same map? It's the same map. There was nothing different. And then they put in a skyscraper in the middle of it. It's just, the game is not moving forward. And even if you look at this, where you have Battlefield where we're grounded in a sandbox and destruction and this and that.
Right.
Your big innovation was I'm fighting in my character's mind. That's what we're doing.
I'm glad you brought up the story.
Let's stop here for a second, okay? Sure, if you want to tie it into, I'm not saying they're doing it, but if you want to tie it into PTSD, you want to tie it into whatever it is, sure, okay. But this is rough for a video game. There's no way gamers were going to buy that as like, that was the hype? Okay.
I love the PTSD angle. I don't want to see her shoot fucking flowers.
But I'm saying that would work. That would work.
That would work, yes. If they did it the realistic way. If they went down a darker path than that. But nobody, I'm sorry. I will continue to say this. There is nothing more boring than taking an assault rifle and shooting at weak points on a target that is just completely massive, takes up most of the screen, and you're just sitting there, dodging whatever they're throwing. That is the most boring and lazy game design that you could possibly make your player engage with. No one wants to shoot flowers and big bulbous blisters like what we were playing with Suicide Squad. No one wants to do that. That just takes me back to like the old arcade games that are just there just to waste your time. Like, I don't want to do that. And it's on top of the way go ahead.
I think, and here's the thing, because I'm going to say a counterpoint to that. I wouldn't mind doing that in another game. Right?
Right. Because, other games
just
have
a weird thing.
So
like, what was it? What was the other game we just played? Split Fiction. Bro, I was a hot dog running around for one of their maps. I was a tooth. Right. Like, cool. You want to do something weird and funky? Like, I just don't expect that from a Call of Duty game. And it just, what are y'all doing? Like, what's happening over there? Like, you guys really sat in a boardroom and went, this is it. We got it. We're here.
Morale has to be low. It has to be. Because here's the thing, I don't like to hate on projects. I'm not happy about where COD is at. COD and Battlefield used to go hand in hand. Like, you can jump off one and go play the other.
I like having both.
Right. You could have two different experiences. Those were two great experiences back in the day. You knew what you were getting when you hopped on. We loved that. I loved that as a consumer and lover of both. But now it's just like, oh, which one are you picking this year? Which one is going to give you more quality? Which one is going to, I do not understand. And on top of their campaign, the fact that it's online only, and you can't really pause that, and if you were to die, or you just decide to get off, like you had something to do, if you don't finish that mission all the way, you have to start that mission all the way from the beginning. There's no checkpoints.
That's it.
What is that?
Innovation.
Who came up with that? Are you seriously trying? Do you not want people to play your game?
No. That's why we got 30,000 players on there right now.
And also, I don't know anything about game development, but what the hell is up with the update requires restart? What is that? Why is that happen every time you hop on the game?
Okay, let's talk about the real thing with Call of Duty, okay? I want to know, okay? I want to know this because I played Gran Turismo 7. I've played 2K. I've played a lot of games with a lot of assets. A lot of assets. Why in the God's green earth is your fucking game 500 gigabytes? Bro, why is the game Debo to everything else on my PlayStation?
The game wouldn't even fit. I think one of the CODs wouldn't even fit on base PlayStation. Like that was the only game that you could have on the PlayStation, on the base PlayStation 4.
It's ugly. It's ugly. It's ugly. Oh, you know what would probably help that? Take all them ugly ass skins out.
Probably. Just get in there and do a little bit of optimization, which is what your community deserves, your player base deserves. At least show the player base you care a little bit about them.
I want their developers to be as excited about their game as somebody like Tim the Tatman and Nick Merckx are to stream it.
Right.
I don't mean that as a dig. I want them to be as excited about their game as they are when they turn it on and they're losing their ever-loving minds to play and stream and all that shit. Because I think you get a really good game.
The thing is, going back to, I don't want to, crap on the game because, I do listen to Exclusive Ace and I feel like he does real good work as far as like dissecting the game and the quality of it, not really listening to the outside noise because, things just get repeated over and over. Turns into an echo chamber. You kind of just lose the plot a little bit. But he did say that this is probably one of the most, it's sad to see how people are treating the game and, how Activision has basically destroyed the relationship between the developer and the player base, considering this is the best Call of Duty feeling game that they have produced in a long time. He was just talking about, like the movement and the weapons, like everything feels good to play. It's just the fact that people are fatigued and they really just don't want anything to do with the developer at this point. And just everything, all the other problems are just overshadowing, the multiplayer, which is apparently pretty good. But yeah, I really think they tried to ride that nostalgia wave a little bit and thought that was going to carry them. Not anymore. I'm sorry. You got first Battlefield put you in the dirt and then Arc Raiders buried you. To the point people didn't even know your game was out. I need to remind you, this is Call of Duty, by the way.
It's just sad. The whole thing is just sad.
This is the Call of Duty.
I hope they turn it around.
Bottles.
I hope. Well, I'll say this: we knew the Black Ops 7 was going to be rough. We just that was a given. I'm really thought on that franchise in general, not just Battlefield not Battlefield, Black Ops or Modern Warfare until the new Modern Warfare 4 comes out, because that's a new team, it's a new direction, new engine, new everything. That's really gonna be the test of like, are we gonna make it like as a company? Because you can't do back to back. You can't do back to back flops in this era. It's not gonna happen. That's not gonna be a hat.
The amount of money they're spending on this franchise, no, you can't do that anymore. And
here's the thing: now that this one was let's just call it a flop. It is what it is, and it's not hating. It is. It's a financial flop, right? Y'all are gonna have to contest now with GTA because that juggernaut's coming.
Yes.
And as long as they keep pushing it back, I'm telling you that you better pray you get that out before it shows up, because your whole player base is gone.
Right. You cannot afford. I'm hoping that this makes them, go back to the drawing board, because I'm pretty sure those meetings are hot right now. considering their player count. But I hate that we have to keep doing this again and again and like repeating this cycle. And I'm hoping that they just bring something new to the table next year, something we've never seen before, some innovation finally. Unfortunately, suffering is the only way we can ever possibly get a good game, apparently. I guess these big developers just do not, I'm pretty sure, not, like I said, not developers, the executives. The executives don't seem to learn their lesson, and why would they when they really don't really take a hit for any of this? Let's be honest. They're not taking the hit, the developers are. I'm pretty sure layoffs are coming, especially next year.
Oh, yeah.
That's that, and of course they're just going to blame it on Black Ops this time. It's kind of crazy considering they just bought Activision Blizzard for like over $1 billion, and now Call of Duty is like this. That's crazy. I never thought in wildest dreams that Call of Duty would be limping like this. That people would just forget
because you made a statement. Well, you made a statement that is very brave, and your community said, "Bet we'll find out."
It's so tone deaf.
That was a real 300 moment. Like, we're gonna fight in the shade. Bet we're gonna find out. We're gonna put all of that to the test right now.
Because they really said that they're to say that you're not concerned about Battlefield. It's almost like you lost respect for your opponent, which, to be fair, 2042 was trash.
Was a disaster.
But you can't tell me that they weren't talking about who was leading this project. They took Vincent Pella leading this project. This is the same person that got COD to where it is today. You really didn't think that he wouldn't do the same to Battlefield. Which apparently this man is a master of his craft. Why wouldn't he duplicate the results?
The man came out and said, "I'm gonna give y'all whatever y'all want. Tell me what I need to do."
Right, and built it.
That's a wild statement. Here's the thing, man. I worked in hotels for a very, very long time. For a very long time. It's disgusting how long. In my very short time on this planet. We knew what Sheraton did. We knew what Hilton was doing. We knew what Marriott was doing. We talked about it in meetings. And those are global brands on a big scale, right? There's no way Call of Duty and Activision and all of that didn't look across the hall figuratively and go, I wonder what they're doing over there. You know what they're doing, and you still decided to do what you did. Exactly. It's just, you know what? Here's the thing, man. You underestimated, and they came with a haymaker. And now you're on your back feet, and it sucks. And you're going to have to wallow in it, because where's all that he and ha that they were doing when 2042 came out?
And I'm pretty sure they didn't expect to take that big of a hit, because they didn't. Battlefield 6 was doing well. Obviously, it was taking players away. But Arc Raiders really stuck it to them.
Hammer.
Hammer
and nail.
Right. Like, Arc Raiders was over Battlefield for concurrent players. I think in the first weekend. I don't think it was by second. I think by first weekend it had taken over. Dude, that's your player base. Like, there's only a certain amount of people in the pool to take from. Well, Battlefield and Arc Raiders has them.
Well, and here's the crazy thing, right? So Battlefield came in and they hit them. That was a rough one. Then Arc Raiders came out and skull stomped them. I think we failed to realize the fact that GTA 6 was supposed to be out.
Yes. By this time,
it would have buried the company.
Oh, absolutely.
Buried it. There's nothing you can do about that.
Right. And now your COD is going to have to compete with GTA 6 now. It's inevitable. It has to come out during that time.
Yep.
And it better be good.
If you rush it, oh boy.
Right. Like, I don't know what you're going to have to do. Like, you're going to have to completely change the tone of the company and change the tone of your play. You're going to do something early in the year to get your player base back.
I don't know the character he plays, but that dude that's standing in front of the whiteboard and he's all stressed out and there's pictures all over. And it's normally like, I gotta find it. You'll probably find it, put it up on the board. But
I
I
know
feel like
exactly
that's what the
what you're talking
CEO at.
Right.
Or he's looking. He's like, all right, we got to figure this out right now.
Always
What are we gonna do?
Philadelphia.
Yeah, there you go. That I know that's how that CEO is feeling right now.
Right. Has to be, or at least one of the developers, because their lifeline's riding on it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think COD really thought that they would survive on nostalgia and brand loyalty. But I'm sorry, I mean, there's so much stuff talking about with the cheaters and them lying about the skill-based matchmaking. Apparently, it's in there, even though they said it wasn't going to be. You're lying to your player base. I don't know what's going on, but y'all need to get it together. Just honestly, time to go back to the drawing board. Time to pull. It's time to get down to dirty again. It's time to be hungry again, because you're going to need that. Let that hunger fuel you.
Y'all need to be starving.
Right.
On the verge.
Right.
Got the white shit on the side of your mouth because you haven't drank anything in 2 days. Like, y'all need to do something.
Right. But I ain't got nothing else to say. I enjoyed this conversation. I'm really interested in knowing what you guys think about the game, where it is. Give me your honest takes. I don't want to hear like the stuff that we can keep hearing online, but I want to give your well thought out opinions on this game.
I want those people that were in the last video we had with 1,000 comments in there arguing, not arguing, okay, because we're from the South. I want to see all of that. I got to let y'all know on my lunch break, on post days, mornings over coffee, I was reading all of them. They're great.
Right. It's just fantastic for a small channel. It's like Christmas come early for us, just to have any type of engagement and just feeling a part of the conversation. So regardless if you agreed or disagreed, we really just appreciate you guys getting in there and just having discussion with us and taking the time to comment and watch. We really do appreciate it. Please watch this one too. We'd appreciate that as well. But
Facts.
You guys know what to do. YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss another one of our videos. And we will catch you guys next time. Goodbye.
Bye.